guys that are going to be going out, the P1 Fuels cars. You'll see those hopefully shortly as well. And of course NASCAR, because this year Silverstone, it is a very big anniversary. It is 75 years of track action, for want of a better word, Rob, is it not?
It absolutely is, and it's a real pleasure to have the NASCARs here. They sound great. The display down in the paddock, at the international paddock, if you get a chance to go and see them static, they look great. On track, though, they sound awesome. I know they should be going around ovals at full chat, but it's so good to have them here at Silverstone. Some of the cars have got a little bit of UK history.
Just about there,
or
I
have
can see him.
demonstrated at Rockingham at Corby. Which is great, but a lot of them are genuine US cars. We've got some older ones. We've got the cars that featured in the film Days of Thunder, the old Chevrolet Lamines there, and it's brilliant to have them here.
It's also, ironic in a way that you, for me, I wouldn't have thought that NASCAR was 75 years, and here we are celebrating 75 years of Silverstone. We sort of think of that as the start of any kind of motorsport, really, and that kind of NASCAR would have come much later, perhaps into the 60s, not as early as it did 1948.
Yeah, you could. I mean, from my point of view, I look at it the other way, because the Indy 500, for example, has been so long, well over 100 years of IndyCar racing there. So I was almost surprised the other way, that actually NASCAR was post-war. And when you start looking at the history of things, and we know that glorious history of NASCAR with the bootleggers and converting those cars, and then what do you do with it? Well, we turn them into race cars. And a lovely, lovely story with those cars. But actually, the fact it's only 75 years of NASCAR is in some ways quite surprising, because...
Earlier, you spoke to Ross, you spoke to Dave, you also spoke, of course, to Derek with that amazing Ford Thunderbird. I know that's not a genuine car, but that's not the point. So out of the pick of Ross and Dave, which one?
I think we'll go with the Ross, because it carried that iconic number, the Richard Petty number, on the side of that car. And Ross was so enthusiastic about being here at Silverstone.
That's what we need.
So I'm here in the paddock with Ross and the owner of this fabulous car that I'm still with. Ross, what can you tell me about it?
This is a 2007 Bobby Labonte Cup car. The famous 43 number is from the Richard Petty Enterprise stable. I found the car in Daytona about 4 years ago, brought it over, spoke to Petty's, they confirmed everything about it, that it's definitely one of theirs, and a light restoration, it hadn't been used for quite a while. It's got original Evenham engine in it, and it's just absolutely fantastic to open up at a track like Silverstone.
You mentioned Silverstone. These V8 engines sound absolutely awesome here. How is it driving a car like this around the Grand Prix circuit here?
It's, as I say, it's wonderful to open her up, because there's not many places you've got to just wait to get on the power. But it's incredible. It's like a freight train. It just keeps on pulling and pulling. And actually, this is specifically a road course car, so it does actually handle.
They've all got their phones on inside the cars, live streaming.
It's a good job it's stayed dry for us over the weekend here as well.
Yes, I do have a set of wets, so I have had to use them on occasions, but yeah, we're hoping it's going to stay dry for the rest of the weekend, so we can put on a good show for everyone.
And the final thing is that number 43 is iconic in NASCAR. How proud are you to be driving that number around the circuit?
I mean, it's amazing to get the confirmation that it was a genuine, or is a genuine 43 is just fantastic. I feel very proud to be able to be its custodian for a while, and anyone who wants to come down and have a look, have a sit in, would be more than welcome.
Wow, even getting a chance to sit in the car. Well, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be wandering around these NASCARs, and seeing them on track this weekend is a real treat. So thank you very much, and all the best for the weekend.
Thank you very much.
There we are, Rob, talking earlier then to the guys from NASCAR. We'll hopefully see those shortly, but it is as well, and the cars that you've been seeing, it is the XK8 and XKR Enthusiast Club. Now, they are better known together as the XKEC. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary, and it brings together a real community of XK owners, enthusiasts, etc. They come from 18 countries, so that makes it the largest single model club of its kind anywhere in the world. It's solely dedicated to the X100, those cars that came from 1996, and the X150, which I think started in 2006 after the X100 stopped. So those are the models of the Jaguar Mark. The club continues to grow from strength to strength. We spoke to them and had a little chat with them, and certainly that is a growing club as well. So Rob was out and about and catching up with the various people this morning, including, well, one of them not being the Jaguar people. I don't know why he failed miserably there.
Yeah, unfortunately with the Jaguars, it was very, quite early on I got down there, there were so many Jags there, but they couldn't find the XK 120s, the people who really wanted to speak to. So I made my way to some of the other clubs and had a chat with quite other owners. But if people want to go up and see the Jags, they are taking up a large space on the inside of Cops Corner. The display looked great. All of the owners have cleverly parked their cars facing the track so they can sit in their cars, have their lunch and see the cars. The collection of E-types up there is really special. I know we're not focusing on the E-types for this parade, but they do look.
We can see now on track the Lotuses, and of course we've been talking about 75th anniversary of NASCAR and Silverstone. It's also 75 years of Lotus cars, founded in 1948 by Colin Chapman. I'm sure everybody knows that, but we've got a real colourful display of and lots of literally loti, I think we should call them. What is a collection of lotuses? Loti?
I believe it would be low tide. Low tide.
And if not, we've invented it. There you are. That is a collection of lotuses. So I mean, so many out there. You've got iconic Elans, the Elan Plus 2 from the swinging 60s. The Elise is out there, of course, which was launched in 1996, and then that became the Elise, the best-selling road car that Lotus have ever made. And of course, one of those Esprits as well that became so famous with the James Bond film all those years ago. It's a world-beating car, launched in 1976, and there are lots
God,
of
there's a lot of Lotuses.
And Rob caught up with guys from the Lotus Owners Club earlier.
So I'm here with Ken from the Lotus Drivers Club. Ken, tell me a little bit about the cars we can see on track here.
Right, what we've got here today is cars ranging from the early baby Elans and Evoras right up to the modern Emiras, which will be the last car that Lotus cars actually produced with a petrol engine. In between, what you're actually seeing is the Elans, the M100s, Europas, and of course the lovely wedge cars that we've seen. And if you're a James Bond fan, obviously there's one or two of those floating around as well. But what you see mainly are Elises, Exiges and Evoras, which a lot of our members love and enjoy. We go all over Europe with them, we go all over the UK with them, and if you want to join us at any time, just go ahead and buy one. Come along to one of our club meetings, and honestly, you too could be out with us on track at maybe the 100th, or maybe they'll do an 80th, who knows.
Absolutely. So the reason you're here is it's a very, very special anniversary this year.
It is. It's the 75th anniversary of Lotus Cars. It's changed and evolved over the years. We've all heard of Colin Chapman and his brilliance, which is the underpinning of all the cars that we're driving today. Lightness, well, that is absolutely the buzzword of any Lotus owner. Don't allow the wife to put too much luggage in, because it just adds to the weight of the car. You'll never get away with that, of course. As far as the modern cars, of course, Colin has now gone, but the ethos is exactly the same. What you want is a car that is light, is agile, you feel that car as it's going round, and it is absolutely brilliant. All you've got to do is slot yourself in one of the older ones, or if you can't do that, buy an Emira, buy an Evora. They're a lot easier to get in and out of, and the driving is exactly the same as the older ones. Apart from the fact you can't take the roof off.
Absolutely. And you talk about that racing pedigree, so important. And obviously this year we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of racing here at Silverstone, and Lotus so much a part of that. How proud are you to be driving around the track today?
I've been driving a track since I was about 2022.
So it's just like fossil fuel, just not fossil.
So all the people that are here we've got around us could come and talk to you about potentially using their fuel in some of those cars.
Well, not only talk to us, they can even fuel here. So we have 2 fuel zone setups.
I
So
can't
you
talk.
can go there, fuel the cars, and run it on the racetrack.
Shit, what?
I can't talk.
We hope the weekend is really successful for
Hello.
you, and we look forward to seeing the fuels out at a lot more race meetings across
Are
the
you
year.
sure? Can I ask you a
Yeah,
point,
so we
please?
did actually the festival speed with Sebastian Vettel running this fuel.
Oh,
We
right,
have,
okay, yeah,
other
just
things
hang on
planned
1
in the
second,
UK,
I'm just
so we
getting
have
for
used
you.
to
And in that FW14B, didn't it sound great in that car?
This
It
is
was
a
brilliant.
Santander.
This is the trick. It doesn't sound any different
Hello.
than using the old fuel, but you do it in a responsible way. So that's the trick.
Okay, yep.
It's brilliant. We wish you all the best, and are looking forward to seeing the P1 logos on the fuels around the motorsport in the UK.
Well, Rob, thank you very much. Talking there to Ben.
Oh, right, thank you very much. Will do, yeah. Can you get it out this afternoon, or you've nearly finished?
Absolutely. So, Sebastian
Oh, right, yeah.
ran at the 2022 British Grand Prix.
All right.
Nigel Mansell's FW14.
Okay, thanks very much for that.
And then had it
Bye-bye now.
with the ability
you
to
see the
run
map I
this
sent you, Ron?
P1 fuel, this sustainable fuel. And what was brilliant about it is the thing that
Left me
always
fucking
brand
card in the
when you see
machine.
Hey?
cars like the FW14B is that
You left
noise,
your card in the machine.
and none of that noise.
To be manufactured today. So we've got a whole range of cars. So we've got mostly Hillman Imps there, but we've got a Mark V Gabriel, which is an Imp variant, and then we've got two Clan Crusaders as well. And the Clans and Gabriels are all fiberglass kit cars, based on Imps. They've got the same engine, gearbox, and everything. Really good for racing because they're quite lightweight. We've got a lovely Sunbeam down there. We've got a really nice Spring Special as well. Yeah, we've got a really nice mix of cars here today.
Okay, and tell us about your car, because that looks really ready for competition.
Look.
Yeah, it might look fast, but it's
Oh,
certainly
see
not.
that one.